His bottle out of the closet. The bottle then went to get cold. He hid it in his closet. Well, one time in the 6th grade Air Force, the chief of staff of the Air Force decided to leave. We're the Air School line.
You see the winds aloft, quite a lot more of that up where they are right now. And as they turn, in just a moment, our jumpers tethered together will separate and then head down. Lining things up now to get it just right. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Please rise as able. Remove your caps for the national anthem. for a twist now in the downplane. They can hear you loud and clear. So give it up for our Patriot jump team. Look at that as they head down right into the drop zone.
We show the clearance over there. Hit it hard, kick it up right. Now you can get it now. Bring it up. We're calling it now. We're just getting warmed up.
Safely now.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lieutenant Sam McGilkey, call sign Sharoney, and up here with me is Lieutenant Joe Rooney, call sign Pietz. And on behalf of the United States Navy, we are proud to present the Rhino demo team. In today's demonstration, Lieutenant Martin Wilson, call sign Grouse from North Virginia, Western Technology, Lieutenant Sam. Aircraft without ever taking its canopy off the crowd. Here they go. Now setting up for the square loop. Middle Super Show Center, 50 mile per hour. Ground gentlemen, from the left, the square loop. Until their aircraft is back aboard its floating home, and we take great professional pride in our unique ability to land aboard a 100,000-ton U.S. naval aircraft carrier. In order to land in an area 1/10 the length of a normal-sized runway, carrier aviators must touch down between 4 wires stretched across the deck of the ship. To do this, we use an optical landing system commonly referred to as the fall. During the final portion of the approach, the aircrew and landing signal officers, known as PALs, work together to get the aircraft safely aboard. Let's listen in on the final approach.
Tower control is clear. I can stay with the backup. Jack level for 24 right, gain down, angle. 206, record the knock on ball. 206, right on ball, 5-4, manual. Red ball. A little high. There's my top. Easton. Power back on, bolt to bolt to bolt.
the top with another push into the vertical. And that means he wants even more energy. Once he converts it though, over the top, he changes direction by flipping upside down, staying connected and flying out of it inverted. And you're going to see lots of that kind of creativity coming up. How does he do it? He's an artistic genius. He did some air-to-air photography with yesterday. You see the Navy, give them a wave down below as Tom, or Mr. Tom, flips the airplane around and continually keeps these aerobatics going aggressively and yet so precisely, pushing those negative G's now as up he goes again into the vertical. Let's see what he's got planned this time. The knife edge, 45-degree out of that. Impressive. Round and round he goes again. Building up to 11, 12G. Pull down the bottom. And up he goes again into the vertical. He started in 1992. 15,000 flight hours now and experience in more than 180 types of airplanes. Robinson's first background in aviation, including working as a flight instructor, banner tow pilot, commuter airline pilot, and corporate pilot. But this is what he does best and what he loves best. Rob Holland.
Flying the MXS RH carbon fiber competition ready single seat aerobatic airplane designed and built by MX Aircraft with its Lycoming engine producing 380 horsepower, weighing just 1,200 pounds. The state-of-the-art aerobatic masterpiece boasts astonishing performance.
Again, kicking back and then forward, totaling the airplane and connecting right away, inverted to fly back out of it and quickly rolling the airplane, inverted, upright, and closing in on the ground at top speed now with all that energy. He pulls into the vertical again. Incredible G-loads he's pushing and pulling in this routine. And around and around and around he goes to the very top, and he never gives up, even though gravity sucks, but it does. He finds ways to defy it and stay so incredibly precise. He has some incredible merch, by the way. Jennifer over there got the coolest stuff. That's how he keeps. So look at this again, over the front of the air. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Never mind, be able to stay connected on the precise 45-degree line down and back. I think you can see why he's been the American champ for years now, and of course the world champ when it comes to freestyling.
5 world freestyling aerobatic champions and also International Council of Airshow's prestigious Art Show Award for showmanship. And Rick, is he putting on a show for us this afternoon?
The inverted frisbee, he calls that. And he cuts up the feet on his own, takes it up to altitude, reverses them, learns from the mistakes, brings it lower to the ground until where he can just come to almost the south. Defy gravity again as much as that engine lets him in his talent, twists it around and builds it up again. Constant energy management all the way around. I'm going to check in with Rob now too and see if he's on board. Rob, can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear. Rick, how you got me?
We're amazed as usual down here, Rob.
I tell you what, we got an incredible crowd down there. What an awesome day it is here in Southern Florida. What an honor it is to be here. From all the great time. Please help do me a favor. You see a military man or woman in uniform, or a veteran, I want you to walk up to them, look them in the eyes, shake their hand, and say thank you. Dedication to each and every one of us, the freedoms we carry so much.
impressive all these years later is the P51 Mustang. And the mission of Quicksilver Flight Team is to honor and pay tribute to the thousands of veterans that have sacrificed their lives for the freedom and security of others. It is the mission of the flight team to keep Quicksilver in the air and flying as many shows as they can. This silver bird quickly streaks across the sky to let us not forget those who served, sacrificed, and gave their all. This P-51 is a celebration of our nation's armed forces. Every aspect of the point represents those who have served and those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Every inch of paint tells the story as we watch and listen to this glorious and beautiful P-51.
Represents the shining halo of a guardian angel who guides service personnel, having given the ultimate sacrifice to their resting place. The black and white stripes on the wings are there as they were on an Allied aircraft on D-Day. All the bare metal of this P-51 Mustang is polished. Look closely into the metal, and you can see for whom our veterans fought.
We saw the slow roll, we saw the 8-point roll, the 6-point roll. He dedicates to our P-51 military service. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the Army, to the Air Force, to the Marine Corps, to the Navy, Coast Guard, and the Space Force. West Virginia, where he's from. And he went back to school, graduated in section authorization, obtained that, picked up family restoration and fabrication business, currently holds a surface level aerobatic waiver, went to Embry-Riddle, and has continued to push outline for the airline student.
With most of the fleet peacefully anchored within the confines of the harbor. Experience the roar of the engines and the sound of the bombs as the Imperial Japanese Navy approaches, and with the break in formation, launches the first wave of 189 fighter bombers from Japan's first air fleet, led by Japanese Captain Fushida. The unprovoked surprise attack was so complete that the coded success signal Tora, Tora, Tora was sent back to the carrier task force before the first bombs fell. A single remote radar station had spotted the incoming raiders, but mistook them for a flight of B-17s due in from the mainland. The B-17s arrived, and like America herself, find themselves in a war that had not yet been declared. The attack was from the Japanese aircraft carriers Akagi, Akaga,
Hiru, Soru, and the two new carriers, the Show Cuckoo and the Sweet Cuckoo. The plan was simple: destroy the Pacific Fleet. The raid lasted for a little over 2 horrific and gruesome hours. Yes, you have a front row seat at the Pacific Theater as the story of the attack on Pearl Harbor unfolds right in front of you. When the first bombs began to fall, pilots all over the island jumped into action. At Wheeler Field, Lieutenant Philip Rasmussen woke to the sound of bombs, jumping out of bed, strapping on a .45 caliber pistol over his purple pajamas, and ran to a working Curtiss P-36 Hawk. He was joined by 4 marked P-36 pilots: Louis Sanders, Harry Brown, Gordon Sterling, and Malcolm Mike Moore. They took off to engage the attacking Japanese and managed to shoot down a few of their Zeros, Vals, and Kates. The enemy number of aircraft were incredibly overwhelming. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the island, Kenneth Taylor and George Welsh were just returning from an all-night dinner, dance, and poker party. These brave pilots, still in their formal dress clothes, raced to a couple of P-40s, got them fueled and armed, and took off. They quickly found themselves in the middle of a real battle. These 2 pilots caught up with the Japanese close to Pearl Harbor and Hickam Field and engaged the Zeros, Vals, and Kates with rounds from their .30 caliber machine guns. However, quickly ran out of ammunition. Luckily, they were able to land at Wheeler Field, which is near the center of the island. They refueled and reloaded with .30 and .50 caliber ammo and took off once again to fight the Japanese. The 2 pilots are credited with downing a total of 6 Japanese warplanes before their own planes were disabled. Both pilots received a Distinguished Service Cross for their actions that infamous day. A total of 502 U.S. planes were on the ground at the beginning of the attack. Sadly, 188 were totally destroyed, 159 damaged, and 155 aircraft lay on the ground at various stages of disrepair. Right in front of you, show center, is our P-36 Hawk. The first wave of 189 Japanese Zeros, Vals, and Kates hammered Hawaii for almost an hour. Then came the second wave of an additional 171 aircraft to continue the strafing, bombing, and dropping of torpedoes for yet another 70 minutes. Yes, that's a total of 360 enemy warplanes. As the attack proceeded at Pearl Harbor and Hickam Field, the devastation was horrifying. On the eastern edge of Ford Island, in the center of the harbor, 9 battleships lay at work. The California, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Tennessee, Maryland, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Utah, and Arizona. Luckily at the time, our 3 Pacific aircraft carriers were out at sea. First, the Japanese hit with Kate torpedo bombers. The initial wave of Kates hit 5 of our battleships: the Oklahoma, California, Nevada, West Virginia, and the Utah. These Kates were specially equipped with shallow-running torpedoes specifically designed for the attack on Pearl Harbor. You see, the shallow waters at Pearl Harbor would not allow the use of normal deep-running torpedoes, which leaves no question that this was a well-thought-out plan and not a surprise attack. Then came the Val dive bombers, armed with 1,700 pounds of armor-busting projectiles, originally made for 16-inch battleship guns, but were converted to area bombs. These planes dived down onto the Nevada and Arizona. Anti-aircraft fire veered the Vals away from the Nevada on the first wave. But unfortunately, the Arizona was not that lucky. A bomb stabbed the Arizona through her forward magazines and exploded, torching off more than 1 million pounds of gunpowder. Sailors on the Nevada watched in horror as the Arizona jumped 20 feet in the air and broke in 2, forever entrapping 1,178 American servicemen in an underwater tomb. The ship sank in less than 3 minutes, and still today she remains at the bottom of the harbor in a watery grave, crying black tears as a reminder to all who lost their lives that infamous day. Tora, Tora, Tora. Imagine that you were there that day. Station Iwa, Private First Class Melvin Thompson was on guard duty when 9 Zeros attacked the base. He stepped out of his guard shack, drew his .45 caliber pistol, and began firing on the enemy planes. The Japanese pilot, Yoshio Shiga, saw Thompson firing back at them. Years later, he remembered Thompson's tenacity and fighting spirit, describing the lone Marine as the bravest American I've ever seen. Show center right now is our Cape Torpedo bomber. All over the island, our soldiers were bringing their weapons to bear and fight. Anything they could get working. 45 caliber pistols or Springfield rifles, and in some cases, our soldiers were able to get 30 and 50 caliber belt-fed machine guns into action, bringing down numerous marauding Japanese Zeros, Bells, and Pietz. Meanwhile, at Bellows Airfield on the northeastern coast of the island, more U.S. Army pilots were racing to their P-40s. Unfortunately, these Japanese Zeros appeared at the same time and started strafing runs. One P-40 pilot was killed as he stepped in his cockpit. 2 other P-40s were shot down just as they got off the ground. The flight of 12 B-17s coming from the mainland finally arrived and were immediately attacked by the Zeros. Unfortunately, in all the confusion, the B-17s were shot at by friend and foe. The frightened crews landed wherever they could, one of them in a pineapple field not far from Hickam Field. A B-17 pilot, Major Landon, trying to land, said what a hell of a way to enter a war, out of gas, unarmed, and no place to land. Amazingly though, 8 of the B-17s actually made it to Hickam Field. Yes, we've taken you back to that fateful day, December 7, 1941. Tora, Tora, Tora. At the conclusion of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, more than half of America's entire naval fleet had been destroyed or damaged. Nearly 2,400 Americans were killed, over 1,200 wounded, and at the time, 960 people were missing. 188 aircraft were destroyed, 159 damaged, just 155 aircraft laying on the ground. 2 battleships were destroyed, 3 light cruisers, 3 destroyers, and a total of 6 battleships were damaged. Our greatest naval base lay in ruins, along with our complacency. The following day, December 8, 1941, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt announced our entry into World War II with these words to Congress, the citizens of the United States, and the world.
Yesterday, December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. It will be reported that the distance of Hawaii from Japan makes it obvious that the attack was deliberately planned many days or even weeks ago. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has been severe to American naval and military forces. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
Admiral Yamamoto, the mastermind of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, said, "I fear all we have done is to waken a sleeping giant and fill him with terrible resolve." Well, he was right. In the 44 months of fighting that followed, the United States sank every one of the Japanese aircraft carriers, battleships and cruisers that were part of the Pearl Harbor Task Force. Nagasaki, the city where the special armor-busting bombs were made, was destroyed by a U.S. atom bomb on August 9, 1945. And a little less than a month later, when the Japanese surrender document was signed on September 2nd, among the U.S. warships present in Tokyo Bay was our battleship, the West Virginia. Would you please bow your head and join me in a moment of silence in memory of all of those that lost their lives that infamous day. Thank you. 8,000 trainers, 22 aircraft carriers, over 1,000 other floating ships from battleships to submarines, and countless of thousands of ground vehicles. The United States of America's dedication led to the surrender not only of Japan, but Nazi Germany as well, giving peace and freedom to the entire world. We do this in appreciation of that dedication, determination, and effort, and extend our appreciation to the men and women fighting for our freedom today. We salute them all, past and present. Tora! 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 And Midwest of Madison, Wisconsin. Today we had an actor out there.
The F-35A possesses the capability to reach speeds 1.6 times the speed of sound, which equates to nearly 1,200 miles an hour. Cruiser reaches the peak of her climb, she will go inward and reposition the aircraft by performing a split S. As she returns to ship center, she will then accelerate rapidly and snap the F-35 through a series of aileron rolls to demonstrate the Lightning II's impressive roll maneuverability. Dropping in from the right, Captain Klusner executing opposing rolls. Outmaneuver their opponents. As Captain Klusner approaches show center, she will complete more than 135 degrees of heading change in 3 seconds, slide the tail of the F-35 through the turn, and then powerfully climb out of the maneuver. Closing in from the left, ladies and gentlemen, the tactical pitch. Demonstration possible. Our F-35 dedicated crew chiefs, Staff Sergeant Jacob Sackett from Benicia, California, and Staff Sergeant Jesse Easley from Houston, Texas. Our avionics rare formation approaches from behind and overhead. Era P51 Mustang named Double Trouble 2 as being flown by Steve O'Hin Jr. as well as a United States Air Force F-35A Lightning II piloted by Captain Melanie Mock Klusner. military veterans in attendance whose sacrifices over the years have helped preserve America's freedom. We hope you enjoy watching this rare formation. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Air Force Heritage Flight. We hope you've enjoyed watching and taking pride in this rare display of flight safety. He is totally immersed in aviation. From Pietz, South Dakota, gentleman Jim Pietz in the aerobatic planes. He's the owner of Mustang Aviation, a full-service FBO located in his hometown of Pietz. Mustang Aviation provides charter, air freight, flight instruction, maintenance, and aircraft sales. Since his first solo flight 49 years ago, Jim has amassed more than 20,000 hours of accident-free flight and more than 162 different models of general aviation aircraft, and he loves to promote it. General aviation. That is something he has spent most of his career promoting because of its freedoms. You can't think of a better way to express your freedom, our freedoms, than getting out and flying. His 32nd year performance.
Jim flew in the P51 Mustang, Harvard 450 Stearman, and of course the ever popular aerobatic Bonanza.
Graceful and comfortable. He just loves to fly.
Jim is happiest when he is flying and is a true advocate for general aviation. He believes that general aviation is one of the greatest freedoms that we enjoy in America, and that controlling an aircraft through an aerobatic sequence with such precision and energy management as he's doing for us today, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Pietz.
Despite the fact that it is actually built for aerobatics, one of the rare
He currently serves on the 8th committee and is an aerobatic competency examiner. Jim also mentors many new aerobatic pilots. Jim is proud to have received the highest honor given in the airshow industry, the ICAP Sword of Excellence.
More than 17,000 Bonanzas were built, of those only 179 certified for aerobatics. As a matter of fact, this one, here today, making it one of the last aerobatic Bonanzas ever built. Serial number 177 of 179. Powered by a stock out of the crate 300 horsepower Continental, turning a Hartzell 3-plane Super Scimitar propeller, 3,000-pound airplane certified to +6, -3 Gs. Amazingly, Jim's, again, not equipped with an inverted fuel or oil system. Highly experienced aerobatic pilot, definitely not your typical stock. So all of you Bonanza pilots that are here, don't try this. Graceful and beautiful in the blue sky, gentlemen, Jim Pietz from South Dakota.
The aircraft you see before you, Mad Max, in the colors red, yellow, black, and silver. The demonstrations you are seeing, the loop, the roll, wing over, and so many other aerobatic maneuvers. Learning from their mentors and their coaches, where we see students perhaps surpassing those before them. Only you.
Time to time, Brittany, you can hear a whistle that harmonizes with that engine in the intercut.
The team came together in 2000.
Show Center, that Hartzell propeller, powered with a Lycoming Thunderbolt IO580 engine, accelerates his airplane to over 250 miles per hour. Michael is known for giving his airshow performance 110% every time he flies. And by the look of that entry, that's not about to change today. U.S. National Aerobatic Champion. Only a few individuals have enjoyed the success that Michael has had in the airshow industry, and he feels incredibly lucky and honored to be able to make a living flying aerial displays for incredible fans like you. Our team is only able to perform at the highest levels of the industry by partnering with very special companies. Goulian Aerospace Technologies and Penn-Fed Credit Union support Goulian Aerosports as co-primary partners. These two amazing companies allow Michael and his team to perform at an extensive schedule of airshows from coast to coast each summer. To keep his extra 330 SC running at its peak performance, Michael relies on champion engine components, Lycoming engines, Hartzell propellers, and Bose aviation headsets. Michael also flies from show to show in a Cirrus SR-22, the amazing general aviation plane with a parachute. The Cirrus life allows Michael to be reunited with his family most Sunday evenings following a grueling airshow weekend.
of his aircraft with the knife edge pass.
She say that I'm cool.
Major Tank, and from your left, Major Downey. Inbound for show center at a closing speed of over 1,000 miles per hour. They'll bank sharply, narrowly avoiding each other. For the opposing knife edge pass.
Well, maybe not. They might have throttled down. Why? There's one there.
climb. the Delta soars above, we are proud to represent the 68,000 airmen who are deployed around the globe. While our airmen, guardians, soldiers, sailors, coasties, watch the formation of 6/16's precisely maneuver, showcasing teamwork at its finest for the Delta formation loop. As the Delta formation repositions for the Delta burst, the flying skill and grace you see evolves from over 71 years of technical training and thousands of hours of practice. From directly in front, your 2024 Thunderbirds in the inspirational Delta burst.
We're to go into this plane, Placid Lassie. It's a Douglas C-47.
Like, especially if you're a paratrooper in here, I wouldn't want to be sitting like this. What's going to be cold there?
Look at this.
Now, when I say I shoot blind, I've got an airplane here, and it's sometimes hard for me to get my camera around.
Right.
So I know where he's at, and I shoot like this. With my left.